Hi everyone, my name is Paige Phillips and this is Module 1 for AEP 855, Educational Leadership. So the first things, a little bit about me, is I grew up in Goodland, Kansas. I now live in Garden City, Kansas with my fiance and two stepchildren, Jackson, who is 6, and Carson, who is 4. And then we also have our dog, Remy. I currently work at Garden City High School. This is my 3rd year teaching English there. I'm also a volleyball and softball assistant coach, and I also am a prom sponsor. So this school year did start off differently than all the rest of them. So for Garden City, we actually started 2 weeks later than we had originally planned. The kids had a choice of starting their school year either in person, hybrid, or online. The school district started at level 4, so face-to-face all day, every day. The only real difference was that we all had to wear masks. After 3 months, we transitioned to level 5, which was hybrid learning. So half the students were in person while the other half were remote for one day, and then they would flip-flop back and forth every day. After 2 weeks, then we transitioned fully into level 6, which was full remote learning. So all students we're at home learning there. After Christmas break, we do plan to come back to school at level 4, which was full-time face-to-face with masks. So the first article we read talks about mindsets. So the first one was all students can learn. So I agree with this statement. It's important to understand that everybody can learn, but it's important to remember that not everybody learns in the same way. The next was teacher collaboration over isolation. So teacher collaboration is necessary for professional and school community growth. The third was happiness and optimism. So focusing on the mental health of staff and students is crucial. The next was dispositions. So the first one was confidence. So having confidence is a key factor in being a successful leader. Knowing what you're doing and being confident while doing it is crucial. Being a risk taker and being decisive. This is making decisions and learning as you go is a leading factor. The next is sense of humor. Having a sense of humor can put others at ease, in turn helping both you and them in any situation. The next is empathetically assertive. So seeing things from other people's perspectives is necessary, especially in challenging situations where you may not know how to move forward, but if you can put yourself in their shoes, that definitely helps. The next is being a learner. I'm a firm believer that you never stop learning, and the educational world is something that is always changing, and there's always more to learn from others. The next was the practices. So the first one was focusing and prioritizing. So staying focused and choosing simplicity over complexity is important for school improvement. The next is examining feedback and data. So to improve a school, you always need to gather data from students, parents, staff, any of those, and get that feedback so that you can help improve your school. The next is emotional intelligence, treating others how you would want to be treated, and reflecting on how you made people feel during a conversation is important to create a positive school climate. The next are the principles. So the first one was personal courage. So this is important as an administrator because you are not only the voice for yourself, but you are a voice for all the teachers. And you have a platform that they do not, to maybe express the needs to make a positive educational environment. The next is public interest ahead of self. So looking ahead as a whole rather than one can help a school succeed. Self-control, self-discipline, and integrity is the next. A community looks to a school leader as a positive role model, so recognizing that not only just your staff and students, but also the community see you as a leader is also important. Task and employee centeredness. This is focusing on both the staff and students when making decisions. The next principle is recognizing talent. So it's important to recognize staff and students and their talents to create that positive school environment. The next is requiring high ethics from everyone. So staff, students, and parents must all be held to the same ethical standards. The next is sensitivity and understanding. Being able to understand and to be sensitive to situations that we may not be familiar with is crucial to creating that school environment. And then the last is inclusiveness. So a sense of belonging is key to gaining trust. If you feel included and part of the group, more people are likely to trust you. So that is very important. So, some personal and professional thoughts and misgivings. So, for mindset, I think it's important that we have a positive mindset with dealing with anything in our job. If you start off with a positive mindset, you're more likely to have a positive outcome. And having this mindset can also influence the people around you to be positive as well. And then this also leads to collaboration and more people working together to create that great work environment. For disposition, the dispositions mentioned in the article are key to a successful leader, and it's important that a leader encompasses all of those traits. The practices mentioned are essential to being a successful leader as well. And then the principles mentioned are important in different ways, and each and every person has one that they may need to focus on more than others. It just kind of depends on the person. So some changes that I need to make to become a successful leader would be to be more decisive. I need to focus on personal courage and focus more on feedback and data. I need to be more decisive at times, especially with important decisions. I tend to second guess myself, just kind of questioning if I made the right decision, but I need to be confident in those decisions that I do make. And then this also leads into personal courage for me, which at times I don't speak up or voice my opinion when I need to. And then lastly, I need to focus more on feedback and data. I do this quite a bit in my own classroom, but as a future educational leader, I'm going to need to look at whole group data rather than just my personal classroom data. So for the educational success and well-being, the mindsets, dispositions, practices, and principles are all essential to educational success and well-being of students and adults in the school environment. Each of these enhance people to become better school leaders, which in turn will help everyone else in the school environment. So the standards correlation, this assignment address standards 2.1 by examining how leaders can be successful and promote the well-being of students, and having us reflect on how we plan to create a school that supports educational success and the well-being of students and adults. This was relevant to my current learning because it helped me explore the qualities of successful leaders and allowed me to brainstorm how I could attain these qualities as a leader. As a future educational leader, the information provided in this assignment will allow me to look back and make sure that I'm doing everything from mindsets, dispositions, practices, and principles so that I am able to become a successful leader. And then this last slide is the resources.